It's Wednesday, and we're talking date night.
The conversation starts now.
It's Wednesday, February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day on Foster Life. Are you ready for the big Valentine's Day?
Oh, I love Valentine's Day.
You do?
You get to spoil people on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, you get to spoil the ones you love, and Valentine's Day is still fun for kids too, and I know that our kids are making Valentines and doing all that kind of fun stuff.
School crafts at school.
Yeah, or at home too. We do some stuff at home, and
Oh yeah, you have to build your own box
yeah.
for your classroom.
Yeah, I used to build mine out of tinfoil and put stickers on it and all that kind of stuff, and that was always kind of fun to do. Plus all the stuff, and then I like the little hearts that have the little sayings on it.
Yeah.
You know, like bite me and stuff like that. Those are fun, and so we have those around the house too. So Valentine's is always good, and it's a good time to talk about love and all of that kind of stuff, and it's a good feeling in the house. So what do you guys usually do for Valentine's Day? Did your mom, did you have any traditions as a kid?
I know we always did our boxes for school, and mom and dad would always help with that. Help us build the boxes. Sometimes we'd even go see a movie every once in a while on Valentine's Day,
cool.
just as a family.
Yeah, that's
Did you do anything? Any family traditions? on
yeah, I
Valentine's?
mean, we did the box thing. My mom always made lots of cookies, like the frosted
Oh, yeah.
cookies and stuff for my class, and then you give each kid a Valentine's, and then the girls that I liked in class, I would give them like 4 Valentines instead of 1, and then the guys that I liked in class, I give them like 20. No, I'm just kidding. But so we always did the the Valentines for class and stuff, and they would help out with that. So it was a good time. We're gonna talk date night today. I thought today would be a good day to talk about date night and
What
the
better day, huh?
importance of it. Yeah, especially with Valentine's. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in the things we're doing with our family, we forget that we got to take time out for each other. And I learned a valuable lesson when we started fostering and not taking that time. And we'll talk more about that today when we come back. It's all things date night today, the day before Valentine's Day. Maybe you'll get some ideas right here.
On
Go ahead.
Foster Life.
He's supposed to do that. This is where the conversation starts, only on Foster Life. All right, we are back talking date night.
Good old date night.
Yeah, day before Valentine's Day. Kind of feels weird talking about Valentine's with you since Monday, but it's all good. We gotta make sure that we inspire other parents out there to do things. So what do you guys usually do for date night?
For
I know
date
you have
night?
a girlfriend.
I know for Valentine's Day in particular, we normally try to go out and eat somewhere and then go see a movie.
Oh yeah, so like the movie and a date. I like for date night. I like to go out to eat But I like to try new things. Like we just went to this Lebanese restaurant that we were talking about a couple of shows ago. And I like to try different things. And because of that, we have a really wide variety of different places that we like to eat. And so that's why it's fun to do on date night. What are some other things that you do for date night?
For the colder weather, I mean, there's places you can go ice skating. Or if you're willing and wanting to, you can always throw axes. I know that's pretty fun. I enjoy that.
You talk about that on the show, and I think that we might actually try that this weekend. And who knows, we might shoot a little footage of it and share it with all of our viewers out there.
I think they'd like to see that.
But I think, trying to find things that are different. And I know, especially when you have a lot of kids, you want to sometimes do things that are inexpensive. And that's great. And we're going to try to give you some ideas on some inexpensive things that you can do today. But the most important thing is to make sure that you do it, that you take time. And we try to, like, once a week.
Well, I always like, whenever I'm on date night, also to just put my phone away and not even worry about the outside, just hang out with who I'm with at that moment and try to enjoy that moment.
We kind of do that, but because we have kids, we can't put our phones totally away. But usually what we do is whoever's responsible for the date night, then the other one doesn't have to have their phone.
Yeah.
And so, like this weekend, we did my birthday, and we were having fun with that. But he was like, "You can put your phone away. I'll watch for text messages in case of an emergency or whatnot." But yeah, that's a really good idea, is to try to put all your social media aside, your work aside, your kids aside, best you can, and then just spend time with the two of you, and just spending time together with each other. So that's a really, really good idea. We are going to be talking all things date night. We're going to give you some good ideas on things that you can do. And also, we're going to talk about why it is so important, the valuable lesson that I learned just a year ago, right here when we come back.
The conversation starts this week on Foster Life.
Date night.
Good old date night.
I hope you have all of your Valentine's plans made, especially when we foster. Oh, we put so much energy into our kids that sometimes we forget to put it into each other. And what happens is, and we learned this about a year ago, is we were so busy serving and taking care of and waiting on and providing for and working really hard that we weren't taking care of each other. And E and I actually had to take some time and figure that out, because what we were doing is neglecting each other, which was neglecting our love. And then pretty soon we were at each other's throats all the time, and we didn't want to be around each other. And
well, it makes it tough sometimes to even take care of the kids whenever you're going down that path as well.
Exactly. And so when we went and started talking with somebody about all of this, the very first thing they said was, "What night do you guys have date night on?" And we were like, we haven't had a date night in like, we haven't had a date night in a couple of months, 3 months. And the professional said to us, "That's not going to work. It has to happen every week, either once or twice, every week. It has to happen." And so we don't always get a date night, but pretty much every week we usually have 1 or 2 nights, even if it's for just an hour, and we just go grab a bite to eat real quick and then come home. We always try to do something. And as a result of that, we saw our relationship just really blossom, and we actually did better with our kids, because our kids were kind of using that to their advantage to help manipulate. And we saw it work better for us in our relationship and things that we were doing as well. So date night is really important.
Oh yeah.
And I think, I mean, if you really think about it, how can your relationship with each other grow if you're not ever spending any time?
If all you're doing is
together?
going to work and then taking care of the kids and then you just go right to bed. I
Yeah.
mean, you gotta have some kind of interaction together.
Exactly, and that works well. And there's lots of things that you can do for date night. People always think, well, I gotta spend a lot of money, or I gotta do, and all of us are on budgets, especially if you have a large family. We're on really tight budgets, and I just think of some of the things we do. Sometimes we just go to the mall.
Yeah. Sometimes for me, I'll just, if I'm a little tight on money that week, I'll just go for a walk. Say, hey, do you want to go on a trail with me? Or hey, do you want to go walk around the mall? Or
Right.
do something that's not even costly at all. All you gotta do is use the gas money to get there.
Right, and you can go on a walk sometimes. That's another thing we do that's kind of inexpensive is, you know, where we live, we can walk and then we might walk up and get a small ice cream or something and then walk home. And so it still feels like a date, but you're doing something together. And when you do walks and hikes, those are always good because you're kind of communicating together and you talk about things and that.
Well, you're
type of stuff.
exercising together too, and that's something I feel like is almost important in a relationship also. You've gotta exercise together and work hard at something.
I think another good thing that you can do a lot of times, these ball games, they don't cost a lot, especially if they're not a major league. And so college games or even like here we have the Springfield Cardinals, and so you can get in for pretty reasonable, but it gives you a long period of time together where you can just kind of relax. You get to watch the ball game, you get to see kind of the things.
They even have like dollar bratwurst nights or dollar hot dog nights too, so you could try to go then and it even saves some money on dinner.
Right. We're also big into music, and so it's always fun to plan, you know, if there's a concert that's coming to town or whatnot. That's always a really good date night. One of the things that we've really tried to work on this year is not always doing dates, because we kind of got in this group where we just went out to eat, you know, for a dinner, and then that was our date. And so we're trying to do lots of things that are not like that.
Just different.
We like to go to this place called the Mud Lounge, and it's downtown Springfield. It's a real relaxing environment, and we might have a drink or two, and then we order just an appetizer there, and we'll just eat that, and that's kind of our...
I've actually been there before. It is really nice and laid back and a great place to hang out.
Yeah, and it's just kind of a relaxing time, and we feel like we've gotten away from the kids as well. When we come back, we're talking date night. Talking about date nights. Hopefully you got your date night all planned for tomorrow or this weekend for Valentine's Day.
If you're if you're going out with a group of people, you may want to go ahead and call and get reservations too.
Yeah, I am going on my date to St. Louis, which is about 4 hours from here.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna tell you, we are staying in a Drury Hotel, and I'm really excited. It looks really nice, and it's got an indoor pool and sauna and all that stuff. So
Oh, sweet.
yeah, so I must have did something right to get Valentine's good this year. We are talking about date night, and date night is so important. And like I said, we try to get out once a week or more.
Yep. And sometimes for people who are really on that budget, it may be smart just go pick up flowers, go home to your wife, and have a date night there at the house. Just watch a movie, maybe make some good dinner, have a candlelit dinner. You
Yeah.
probably already have candles anyway, so
Yeah.
just light one.
Restrict your kids to a certain area in the home. We've done this before. And so you guys can go play here, watch movies and popcorn, and we're gonna hang out here. And you only come here if it's an emergency. We just kind of have a date night at home and spend time together, or just sit by the fire or whatever. And that's always a lot of fun too, and very relaxing, inexpensive, and it's a good way. But again, making sure that he or she puts those technical devices away when you're doing that, so that it feels like you're really spending time together. So, and I'm a big fan of doing those kind of in-home dates as well, and those could be a lot of fun. One thing that we do, so if you take in behavior kids, one thing that we've done is sometimes I have a hard time getting babysitters because of the types of kids that I have. And so sometimes what we'll do is we have night babysitters. So the kids typically are all in bed by 9 o'clock. So we'll get them in bed or whatnot, and then we'll go catch like a 10-15 movie.
Right.
And that way the babysitter just basically is there for an emergency. And they're asleep and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that works usually pretty well. And then we can still get away for a few hours.
Right.
But it's not that extra strain on the babysitter having all the kids up, especially at our house. It can be a little crazy at times, I'm going to tell you.
Well, with that many kids, I mean, it's going to be crazy in any house at times.
Right, exactly. And we like to go to those later movies here. I'm going to give it away, but if you're in Springfield, a lot of times we can go to those 10-15, 10-50 movies, and we're the only two in the whole theater area.
And
the whole thing.
do you normally go to the one with the real nice reclining seats?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they're great here.
Yeah, that's really nice. And then there's another theater that we like to go to. It's a little bit more pricey, but they actually have the waiter that comes to the table, and you can get wine and that kind of stuff. And when we want to spoil, that's good. They have, I'm going to tell you, I like date night there because they have cauliflower buffalo wings. So because I'm vegan, obviously I don't eat chicken. So it's cauliflower, and they do it like buffalo wings, and they fry it. Oh my god!
Oh, I bet that would be good.
Yeah, they're really good, and they kind of have that chicken kind of thing. So we like to do that as well when we're talking date night. Another fun date night place that you mentioned earlier, and a lot of places in the United States don't have them anymore, but we're fortunate to have one about 30 minutes. You have it right in your town.
Yep.
And what is that?
It's the drive-in movie theater, and in the summertime, I mean, I go there all the time.
Yeah.
It's so fun. They normally play 2 different movies, and you can stay out late and just hang out and watch movies. They've got even a playground if you wanted to take your kids there also.
Yeah, and it's also a fun place to meet your friends to go to and kind of hang out. But the drive-in, and usually that's not a real expensive date, and you can bring whatever you want.
In the place that we have there in our town, I think they even have you charged by the car instead of by the person.
Right.
So it's really inexpensive. I think maybe $7 or something for the whole family to go.
Exactly. That's always good. So, the most important thing that I want everybody to get out of this today is we all need to spend time with our better half, significant other. And if you're single, you still need to have that time. We have to have time where we're away from our mission, and our job is being parents. But fostering is a lot different than just normal parenting in a lot of ways. Just the appointments alone. I mean, you came to my house early today
Yep.
because we were hoping that we could get down to the studio earlier. And I had therapists there and people there. And so just the appointments alone can sometimes be overwhelming.
Well,
And
it
if
lasts longer
Right.
than you expect them to as well.
Exactly. And if you don't take that time for yourself and for your significant others, you're doing a disservice really to your family that you're putting together and you're raising, because they're going to see that as well.
Right.
And they're going to see that you need rest. They're going to see that you need a break. They're going to see that you need time. And if you are a stay-at-home foster parent like I am, I stay home all day and then I come down to the studio in the evening and shoot shows and I edit all night. But also sometimes if you're stay-at-home, you need to just get away as well, just for yourself. And sometimes for me that just means I'll get in the car and I'll go to Walmart and maybe look around, or I'll go to different stores that I like.
Or even just going for a drive.
Yep.
Around the back roads or something.
Yeah.
That's always good too.
Yeah, sometimes I'll take the Jeep and just go back road and all of that kind of stuff. But giving yourself and allowing yourself to have those breaks is very important. And in addition to that, taking your little vacations and your little week breaks and that kind of stuff, using your respite. And I know that when we first started fostering, we didn't want to use the respite because we thought we were just kind of passing our kids off on somebody. It's not true. It's a good break for your kids, because usually when they go to respite, the respite home does some fun things with the kids and they get to do different things. But then also it's a break for you, and we're getting ready to do some respite. We're not using respite worker this weekend. We're going to use Grandma, and we're going to use Aunt TT and Uncle Jeremy and Myra and the gang, and we're going to go get some alone time in St. Louis, and we're still going to spend some time with our family, but we're also going to get away from the kids a little bit and get some alone time that we definitely need to recharge our batteries so that we can do the best that we can. Coming up Friday, we have an amazing show for you, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So we'll see you next time here on Foster Life. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. And Tristan and I want to just remind you, always do your date night.